Morning YouTube, this is Chuck Reynolds. I'm glad you stopped by my channel today. And what you're looking at here is the GeoBanker. And this is really a great machine. I really enjoy running it. But there's some things on it that don't suit me. These are not a necessity, they're just easier things for me. Things that I think helps me out to try to catch more gold. So let me show you what some of them are. Okay guys, so this is the first thing. And I've had trouble on my other high banker and on my La Trappe recirculator with trying to get the water to run directly into a bucket. And I think I've shown these before, but these little aluminum tabs, and these bend right around the side here. Then they're popper bitted twice here and once down through here. And what this does is it directs the water into the bucket. So if you're recirculating, you don't want to be losing water by missing the bucket because it shoots off the side. And if you see here with that bucket on it, that's exactly where the water is going to go. It shoots it from here in and from here in, so you're hitting more in here than you are coming off the edge like here. If it was running straight on this side, you'd be missing the bucket. So anyhow, that's the first one. Okay, now this is, we'll call this the second item that I had trouble with. Now, and maybe some of this is just me, but this just simplifies this for me. These are by no means a must to have or anything, but this makes this easier and I can operate more without trying to run around and get a bucket or a tub or something because we're missing when we're recirculating. So what I've done here is real similar to what I did on the front, that one and this one. So when the water's coming down, and what I've experienced in the past, if I'm not set up just right with this, and the angle is different here, this way, the water comes down and tries to run down this side of the punch plate and runs out on the corner on either side. So simple solution was almost the same as what I did, only it's just a one tab here bent, one over here bent, and that directs the water away from the corner and into the center here. So even if you centered this punch plate exactly in the center, or you're over to one side, your water's going to run and go to the middle rather than running down off the edge here and going on the ground if you're recirculating, because you can't have that. And to go along with the same thing and same idea is, I don't know if you saw how shiny this is right here, and I've heard others complain about this groove where the punch plate is tied into the body of the hopper here, that the gold gets in here and then you have to take it apart to get it out, and these are pop rivets. And some people I know have put bolts in there to take care of that. I think they're nylon bolts or something like that. And I've had this same experience on other equipment that I have. And what I do is just what I did here. I silicone this whole upper end here. So the gold can run over this and might stick here, but you can wash it off and down into here, whatever you need to do. But with the water running, I don't see that being a problem. But that just saves a whole lot of messing around, taking a punch plate out, trying to get your gold out. And that was number 2 of the things that I've changed. And let me show you why I did that on other things. Okay, this is another piece of equipment that I've built. And this is on the sluice where your material comes out. I did the same thing. I put those little aluminum tabs on to direct that water into a bucket, because I did recirculate with this. And even if you don't, it gets it away from the feet so you don't sink into the ground. And up here on the top, then, sorry about this, I wasn't ready to do this, I guess. I did the same thing. I was having trouble with water running down my punch plate on both sides, so I did these tabs again, put them in here, and you can't see right here, but this is all silicone here also. And that really makes a big difference when you're trying to recirculate, that you can catch that water and keep it in the box where it belongs, rather than it running off the end or out the back. Okay, that's enough for water. Another thing I had a problem with, for me, now this is, again, this for me, this doesn't mean you got to go out and do all this kind of stuff, but it's a big help to me. One big problem I had with it was this. Let me do this. When you're setting up, if you don't get this exactly squared away here, well, that hopper's on, but notice here that we're missing the box. And notice here, we're just about to miss it on the other side right here. And then you just got to get it centered, and when you're out in the field and trying to center this, it just becomes a real chore, and I got tired of fighting that. So what I've done here, if I can line up my mark here, is I drilled a hole through this frame under here. Well, I don't know if you can see that. Let's get down here and look. See this hole right here where my finger is? And this pin goes in there. And when it's lined up, it goes right through into the inside here. Let's see if you can see, where am I at here? There it is. See right here, that's the pin on the inside. And it sticks through here. I've just hung it up. And so that's totally out of the way. It doesn't care that it's in there. But now it fixes that centering problem. And it fixes the problem if you're going to shovel into this upper end. And shovel up in here. Notice this doesn't fasten down to anything up here. And when you throw and the weight of your material hits here, it was pulling this back up off the frame in the back here. There's like a groove in the bottom underneath this punch plate. It's aluminum, we'll call it a channel iron for want of another word, that fits down over the plastic of the sluice. And even if you leaned on it like this, just put a hand on it, lean on it, that would come up off the bottom. So I considered that a real problem because I'll use this not for just recirculating, but I'll use it right out of the creek. So this pin solves that problem. So this cannot, no way, come up out of here. Look, I'm lifting up by it. So I thought that was a good help for me again. And let me show you, I think I've got one more little item. So if you've been in prospecting any time, I'm sure you recognize what these are. These are thumb screws. I've lost more of these than I can count, and I can't stand a thumb screw. And you know, you can get almost enough tension on these, but not quite, because you're doing it between a finger and your thumb, trying to twist this in. And I don't know, I just don't like thumb screws, so let me show you what I've done. Okay guys, this is what I use on all my equipment. If you see these T-handles, this is my 3-inch dredge that's been sidelined for a little bit because it's been way too much water. This is the mini wash plant that was made into a high banker. Has the same T-handle, the 3/8 and 3/8 bolt nut. This is the Latrap's recirculator, and it's got 1/4 inch rod, 1/4 inch bolt, 1/4 inch nut welded to the frame for all its adjustments. So figuring that was good, that's exactly what I did here. Did these T-handles. I did 6 T-handles, and it's 1/4 inch rod. This rod's like 2 inches long. The bolt is maybe 3/4 of an inch long. It doesn't even have to be that long looking at them. This one isn't up here. This is a little less on this crossbar here. But it just simplifies everything. What you're trying to do here is make everything simple. When you want to adjust this, it just spins out and spins back on. And you know it's tight when you turn it because you have leverage on these two ends. And it was the same on all of these. It's just a much, much better way, in my opinion, that these adjustments can be made with a T-handle rather than a thumb screw. I don't like thumb screws, never liked thumb screws. That's why none of my equipment has thumb screws. That's strictly my opinion. So just to show you, this is not something new that I've been doing. This is the, used to be the mini wash plant, and I was having a similar problem with the water running down the edge of the punch plate. So what I did was put these tabs in to divert the water to the center, just like I did over here. It's the same thing, and did the same on the front end here, right here. These are on the sluice and they redirect the water into a bucket for recirculation. And this was set up as a recirculator, just like the geobanker was, but now I can pull out of the creek and do that also. So I think this is a really good change to divert this water and to seal this edge, because that really is important too, to not lose gold because it's stuck in the crack. The diverters down here are great for re-guiding your water into the bucket. Now this is if you're recirculating. And these speak for themselves. I mean, that's an amazing little thing to do, yet you can grip it, not a problem.